Hey everybody, welcome to another DeLorean Tech Bring a Trailer live stream. So we have this 1981 DeLorean DMC-12 here on Bring a Trailer, and current bid right now is $43,000, and it ends in about a little over 6 minutes here. So I haven't done one of these Bring a Trailer live streams in quite a while now. It's just been life's been very busy for me, but fortunately this one took place on a Saturday. Hey, we're up to 44,000. This one took place on a Saturday, so allowing me a little bit more time. We're gonna give Chris Miles a call as we usually do to give him a chance to kind of voice his opinion about this one. But just looking at the photos, it actually looks really clean. So it's kind of a low miles. It's got 12,000 miles, VIN 3468. It's a automatic, which is pretty cool. Gray interior automatic, which you don't really see a whole lot. You usually see the black interiors. So the gray interior automatic, which isn't quite as common. It looks really clean though, from all the pictures I've seen. It still has a lot of the original stuff going on. You got the original coolant bottle, fuel lines, probably original coolant lines as well. That'll need to be replaced if you're looking at potentially using this as a driving car, which I think this is probably a good candidate for a driving car. So anyway, why don't we give Chris Miles a call, and we'll let's do that right now and get his opinion on this car. He's always been a great help when it comes to getting some feedback. I'll give him a call right now. Hey, it comes with the original window sticker, although it's in pretty bad shape there. Looks like about 26,000. Is that 26,825 was the original sticker price on the car. He's got some driving videos going on here as well, which I think is pretty cool.
Hello.
Hey, Chris.
How you doing?
Good. How's it going? You're live on DeLorean Tech.
Cool.
So, what do you think? First impressions?
It's a original car, but it's had some work done in different places. Like, I noticed the shocks have been replaced, but at the same time, the fuel lines haven't been replaced.
Right. Right.
And the coolant bottle hasn't been replaced, but they did a water pump. So it's very different upgrades, but not all the ones that you would hope that were done.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I hear you. Well, he's got a lot of driving videos, which that's always a plus, right? I think a red flag for me is when you don't have videos like this on the option, and it's just a bunch of photos and maybe not very good photos. Looks like he's got a video of the cold start here. Let's have a listen and see what that sounds like.
Ice cold has been started in about 2 days.
Starts up okay. You got voltage. It looks pretty good as well. It's well above the 13. Any thoughts on this? I mean, it seems to run okay, right?
Yeah, it has. I think it has the original alternator still.
Okay. The Ducelier?
I think it's a Motorola.
Motorola? Okay.
2 minutes, $56,000.
60,000 is what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me refresh. Oh, there it is. Yeah. That jumped up quick.
Yeah, I did. I think when we started, I was at like 40, something like that. 40,500, something like that. Let's take a look at some of these photos here.
It's in Florida, so hopefully it weathered the storm.
Right, right. Well, I saw, so underneath the undercarriage, it looks pretty good. I mean, there's hardly any corrosion that I could tell. I mean, either they cleaned it up pretty nice and did some repainting, or, you know, it was kept inside under, you know, ideal conditions. It's got the new hand cooks on there. So apparently he's got photos of the NCTs. I don't know if if he's got if he's including those with the with the auction or not.
I imagine. It looks like they're still pretty meaty, actually. I don't think this car was driven very much.
Yeah, 12,000 miles, something like that, which really isn't. You know, I always like to see a car with a lot of miles. Like 50,000 is usually a pretty good amount of miles. 12,000, that might not be enough. But of course, you know, you've got a lot of original stuff going on with this car, right? So you could go one of two different ways. You can go concours with this car, or you could turn it around and you know, turn it into a driving car. You know, it's like you mentioned, it's got a lot of original stuff going on. Some stuff that was replaced, other stuff that wasn't, that didn't quite make sense, right? Especially with that coolant bottle, right? I mean, why would you replace the water pump but not the coolant bottle? I guess there was nothing wrong with it, right?
Yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like the engine cover was probably repainted recently. It's very shiny. So I'm looking at the engine compartment right now. Very original as far as I can tell. Doesn't look like a whole lot was done there.
Looks like it has an original belt. I see the Renault part number on the belt.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Kind of funny, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Automatic, of course.
Yeah, it looks fairly clean. I mean, the undercarriage, I mean, I don't see any corrosion at all in this car. It's very, you know.
It must have been well taken care of.
Yeah.
Of course.
Even the air deflector shields, I don't know if those have been painted or if they're just, you know, if that's the raw sort of metal.
Aluminum.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look good.
They look really good. I know in the later model cars, they were painted, obviously, or at least coated. So they're usually black, but this looks really clean. I mean, look at that. It's very shiny. The tub is very shiny.
Yeah. So someone did a nice job on it.
Yeah, for sure. It's very clean. Let's see where we're at on this thing.
The interior is all very nice.
Yeah, no, the interior looks great.
Dash.
Checking for last second bids. Looks like we may be done on this thing. 70,000 already.
Wow. Sold.
Sold. Oh man, 70,000. Not a bad price. Not a bad price.
I was hoping it wasn't going to stay at 40.
Yeah, for sure. Rob's Cars. 70,000. I'm surprised we didn't have a bidding war on this. I could have seen this one go up to 80s, probably 70,000. You know, it's a sign of the times, right? prices might be softening.
Well, I think Bring a Trailer brings a little bit higher values than they might actually be sometimes, but I think it's probably a good result, especially because there's still quite a bit that you probably have to do to it.
Yeah, there is a little bit. It doesn't look like a whole lot. It's just, you know, mainly within the engine compartment, like you pointed out. Everything else looks pretty good. I mean, the undercarriage stuff, you probably wouldn't need to do anything with the suspension or anything. You know, if we're talking new fuel lines, didn't seem like there was any cold start issues. I don't remember if he posted a hot start or not.
He said that the accumulator was replaced.
It was replaced.
There was an invoice for one. So.
Okay. Okay, that's always good. I mean, that makes a huge difference. I mean, I remember when we did my fuel accumulator, man, I have not had hot start issues. I've even tried, you know, like multiple times to at least invite a hot start issue, and that's not going to happen. So clearly, you know, everything we did to the DeLorean Tech car up to and including the fuel accumulator replacement really made a huge difference, right?
Yeah. Well, let's see who won.
Yeah, Rob's Cars.
Rob's Cars.
Rob's Cars. Sounds like he might be a dealer. He's got 3 auction wins. Actually, a couple days ago, took a well, it's a motorcycle. Oh, and a car and a BMW M3 vintage 95. It's got a 62 Jaguar. So this guy is obviously either a collector or a dealer of classic cars here, or nice cars. There's a nice 2006 Mercedes. Oh, check that out. 72 Pantera.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty nice. For 110. That was earlier this year in June.
Well, that's interesting. Rob 2 is the seller in Rob
Right.
car, but I don't know.
Yeah. Coincidence? Yeah, last year he won a Ford GT, a 3-mile Ford GT for a little over $500,000. So he's added a DeLorean to his collection here. He looks like he's bid on a few other vehicles as well.
Wow, he won a SLR McLaren Mercedes. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Saw a Ferrari.
A Lamborghini 400. Look at that. You don't see that every day. 67. A 2+2. That's pretty nice. So obviously he's got good taste in cars.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of money.
Right. Right. That always helps, right? I mean, 70,000 though, I would say it's a pretty good deal for a car. Now, assuming the car it runs like it shows in the videos, and it doesn't seem to be too much of an issue there. 70,000, I would say, is not a bad deal. We've been seeing cars go for a bit more here on Bring a Trailer. DeLorean auctions haven't been as common lately, at least. Although there is another one, I thought I saw a Time Machine or something for auction that was ending on like Wednesday or something like that.
Yeah. Time Machine. Oh, it's 3 days left.
There it is, yeah.
25,000.
So that's probably gonna. I would imagine that'll get north of 100,000, mainly because it's a Time Machine. I haven't really looked into this one here, like who did it.
Right.
It's in Canada. I mean, it looks okay. I'm not like the expert on time machines. The interior looks pretty decent though. It looks like it might have looks like a part 2 flux capacitor. What else we got going on here? Wow, look at all that. It looks like it might have been professionally done here for sure. I don't know if it's a Video Bob or if it's a doesn't look like it's a Danny Botkin. I know he puts the part 2s in.
Those seats have the DMC embroidered on the headrest, so that's something. I think I've seen that come from DeLorean, California before. But.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm not seeing where it says who did the time machine conversion. That would help.
I'm sure someone in the comments will pipe up and say it was more.
Yeah, yeah. It's in Canada. I don't think we have any. I'm not aware of any Canadian time machine guys.
Did you follow this other DeLorean that sold for $33,000?
33 recently?
Yeah, in the end of September.
You know what? I don't think I did.
I'm not quite sure why it didn't sell for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? That one must have. I must have missed that one. Yeah. 33. Wow. Is that the non-running car? Oh yeah, the project car. I do remember seeing this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember seeing this one. Right. Yeah, I I didn't think it was going to go for much, being a non-running car. It looks like it sat outside for a while too. You can tell one of the taillights is faded. Yeah, that's always weird how it's usually just one of them. I just don't get that. Maybe the angle of the sun going up and down every morning, every evening, right? So it did sit outside, obviously, for a while. 33,000 there. I mean, that's still more than what I paid for my car. But of course, that was like 4 years ago, right? Things have changed dramatically since then. Let's see here. So before that, you had one in August that sold for 80,000, and then a 7,000 mile car in the same month for 79,000. This one, of course, this 569 in July for 106,000. So the prices have gone down a little bit. But you know, if you look at earlier this year, they were actually a little bit lower, right? So maybe they've kind of gone up. If you look at this graph they've got here, let's see. Yeah, that one I don't know that the project car would count.
Yeah. But, I mean, it would be a good opportunity, obviously, for someone to
Yeah, for sure.
fix it up.
So there's still an upward trend on your normal cars. Obviously, you have the time machines that are going well over like 150. That it kind of push things up a little bit. I don't think you're going to get a time machine for less than that, unless, of course, you know, it wasn't properly done, right?
Right.
We've seen those, but even those can fetch a lot, right? Because people just don't know what they're getting themselves into, right? Unless it's done by, you know, a reputable DeLorean time machine like a builder like Video Bob or Danny Botkin. There's a few others out there. And if they don't put who did it, that's kind of a red flag to me.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they did it themselves, right? So, for example, Edwin, who did his conversion, his is pretty awesome. He got a lot of help though from the Time Machine Builder community on Facebook. But looking at his car, which he did it all himself, right? Very nice.
I realized that.
Yeah, he did all the work himself. At least as much as of the time machine conversion that you could do. But he did get help and advice from folks like Danny and Time Machine Builders group on Facebook, which is always helpful. But going back to this car here, I don't know the history of this car, if it's an East Coast always car or you know, how it made its way to Florida. But usually the East Coast cars, there is some signs of corrosion here. I'm surprised this one didn't go into a bidding war. You usually see that, right? You usually see that, but no bidding war on this one.
Wondering what the VIN lookup says, or says where this car was.
Not too much activity going on in the comments, but of course the auction is over. So not too exciting. Yeah, Florida title here, 3468. Not a whole lot of history. So whoever bought this, and we know who that is, hopefully they won't have any issues with it. I mean, it shows really nice. I mean, you've got, look at some of these photos here. I don't know if there are any maintenance records. Looks like he's got Toby's.
Invoices.
Oh, there's some invoices. Okay, looks like he's got Toby's polyurethane bushings on here. I'm just looking in the background. I mean, that looks pretty clean. The calipers look really kind of new-ish. I don't know if those were replaced recently.
They were at least rebuilt.
Yeah. I mean, that air deflector shield almost looks like a new old stock, because if you look at the screws, they're a little rusty there. So these he was either refinished or painted. Can't really tell. Actually, it looks like it might have been painted over. It's got those look like replaced shocks. So I think you might have mentioned the shocks were replaced recently.
The front ones were replaced anyway.
Okay.
And they did a window motor.
Yeah.
They spent kind of money from everywhere, from DeLorean, DPI.
Looks like he did away with some of the relays here. That's the RPM relay right there. Look at that.
Yeah, it's using the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put a DPI fuel pump in.
Okay. Yeah, those are good. Okay, yeah, it's got DeLorean Industries invoice here. Fuel pump kit. Surprised he didn't go with the fuel lines when he replaced everything, but I guess, you know.
You do what you do to get it running and driving. And
yeah, yeah. Looks like a lot of the stuff was done last year.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he replaced the brake master cylinder.
Yep, saw that.
Again last year. Looks like he did a lot of stuff last year as far as trying to restore the car. Huh. So it looks like he bought a brake master cylinder from DeLorean Industries on October 7th of 2021. And then he turned around and bought another one from DMC on the same day? Wait a minute, what's going on here? That's weird. Yeah, brake master cylinder. So I guess, I don't know. Maybe one was out of stock, who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah, but it was on the same day. That's kind of strange. Water pumps, so the water pumps from DMC as well. Water pump hose, so the hose is directly into the water pump there.
Mm-hmm.
So about 3 different hoses, a new thermostat. Wait a minute, what's this? Engine cover, stay, oh, okay. Oh, he's got the new brake hose kit on there. Again, all the work was done around August, November of 2021. There was just a lot of stuff that happened there. So I'm not showing any maintenance records throughout the years. Looks like he just recently did the fuel accumulator.
Mm-hmm.
Bought it from World Pack. Okay, so they just...
Yeah, that's like a...
OE part distributor.
Yeah, dealerships use that.
Yeah. And new fuel distributor.
That's from John Hervey's old company, Specialty
Auto. Oh yeah, Specialty Auto. Cool. $500 there. Oh, he does have the original NCTs. Nice. That's it. So there were no maintenance records that I could tell for the car. So who knows, right? Who knows the story of this this DeLorean VIN 3468. Anyway, Chris, thanks for calling in, man. Appreciate it as always. I don't know if I'll have a chance to live stream that time machine. That would be awesome. It's been a little while since they had a time machine on here, so I'm really curious to see what that would go for. It would probably help to know who did it, but it doesn't say that. We'll have to maybe get on there and ask the Bring a Trailer community, like, who did the time machine conversion. It might be on the Facebook group too. We could probably do a little research, but I am curious.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. All right, Chris. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, man.
All right, no problem.
We'll talk to you later.
Talk soon.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
All right, everybody. So that is the Bring a Trailer live stream. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry that this one was not as exciting as ones in the past with the bidding war. So no bidding war on this one, but let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys think about this particular car going for $70,000. I don't know. Just looking at the photos, and he's got, you know, the driving videos. $70,000 doesn't seem too bad. I think the buyer probably got a pretty good deal on it. You know, I don't know a whole lot about the history of the car. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff as far as like maintenance records throughout the years, so it's kind of not really sure what's going on there. It does say some service records, but there's very little showing service records over the life of the car. That's always a plus when you're looking for a DeLorean. All right, so when I bought my car about 4 years ago, the original owners were very meticulous. They kept excellent documentation on the car, everything that they did to it, all the service records, all the replacement information that they did on the car. They actually wrote notes on a lot of the receipts as to why the work had to be done and stuff like that. So obviously that's not very common. A lot of the time folks will just throw away their service records and not really keep them. So it's not to say that if your car doesn't have a good amount of service records, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just one of those little extras that kind of gives you a little peace of mind when you're looking to buy a DeLorean. So congratulations to the buyer. Hopefully they will have good luck with the car. Looks like the buyer has quite a nice collection, so it's probably not going to see a whole lot of windshield time. He's probably just going to stick it in his garage. Who knows what he's going to ultimately do to it or do with it. But it does come with those NCTs. You know, it's a vintage-ish car. You could potentially show it as a concours car. It does have a lot of the original stuff going on. It is an automatic. They really cleaned this car up. I mean, it's definitely very nice. It would probably make a nice driving car too. Once you replace these fuel lines, looks like you had the accumulator and the fuel pump already replaced. So most of the fuel system work has already been done. You would just really need to replace all 13 fuel lines. We've got a video showing you what the process is for that. But again, on that one, I would recommend getting a somebody who really understands the car and how to replace fuel lines to do that. You've got, I would get rid of the stovepipe and go with the cold air intake. They made a huge difference as far as performance goes. Other than that, the stainless fuel bottle, I would add that to the car. Get rid of the old plastic fuel bottle. Those have been known to fail over time. Again, on this one here, he replaced the water pump but did not replace the overflow bottle. That's kind of odd, but fortunately that job isn't quite as involved as the fuel pump replacement. Here's another angle of the engine compartment. They did a lot of cleaning up on this car. At least that's what it looks like. It almost looks like the car was stored indoors, because there's always signs that, you know, you had outdoor storage, and I don't see a whole lot of that going on here. So whoever won this car, congratulations. All right, everybody, so we'll go ahead and conclude the video there. I will try to do the time machine that we've got coming up as well. That one is going to be on a Wednesday, so not sure. There we go. Okay, so let's look at that one more time. So there's a time machine right now. It's at 25.5. That doesn't really mean much. Most of the time, these cars will fetch a lot more in the final hours of the auction here. It doesn't look that bad. Of course, I'm not an expert on time machines. I do like time machines. I think it's kind of cool, but I'm definitely not an expert on, like, I couldn't look at this car and tell you who did it, right? There are guys out there that can do that. But this one here, um, okay, it says here the car was recently acquired by the selling dealer. Okay, so someone else bought this. Maybe they were trying to flip it. Maybe they're not sure or don't know who did the time machine conversion. Doesn't really say here, at least I can't really see it. But this one ends, let's see, when does this one end? This one will end, oh, this one's on Tuesday at noon. I will try to do this on my lunch break if I can, so stay tuned for this one. And once again, thanks for tuning in.